Hey everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to be showcasing an army I invented when the Minion Prince was first released. And I'm using super minions. Now you might be confused. Super minions? How can you use super minions? Well, when the Minion Prince came out, I designed a strategy that utilizes both. And when the Minion Prince came out, I was like, what better troop to use than super minions to work with such an air army? Because I'm not one to use mass dragons, electro dragons, all that nonsense. The idea is um, to use the minion prince and super minions as the main force of the army. So uh, the army utilizes a queen charge. Now you might be thinking queen charges, oh man, that's a lot of effort. And you're right. If you want to use any kind of army, you need to have some other skills. You can't just drop things down and expect everything to work all the time. And in my opinion, a queen charge or a queen walk is the best way to start off an attack, no matter what town hall you're at, all the way from town hall 9. Now you can even do it at town hall 8 now if you want to do a queen charge at town hall 8. But town hall 9 is when I actually started doing queen charges, and they're just super effective. If you can learn the skill of queen charging, you can make pretty much any army work. But the biggest difference about the super minion strategy is the range ability of the super minion. Now you can make a lot of cool things happen with that super minion range. Now those first 7 attacks are from somewhere around 10 or 11 tiles, which is astronomical. Now the idea is not to just spam them all in at once. You want to trickle like 3 or 4 in at a time. That way when the super minions get to around midway through the base, they're picking off high level defenses and buildings from that range, while the balloons and dragons push ahead and support along with the Warden and Minion Prince. Now, the Queen charge is probably the most important part. If the Queen fails, it's very, very difficult for this army to work because everything is so slow. And you just need to make sure you get so much value with that Queen. So, follow along and I'll show you exactly how it works. This base, we have a brand new Town Hall 15. We have maxed heroes, which is basically the only problem that the queen is going to have, just engaging these enemy heroes. Other than that, everything else is just max for Town Hall 14. So we start off the attack by dropping some baby dragons to help funnel the queen toward this middle compartment. The idea here is to have the queen take out the entire top side, get this incredible value, and once she's inside this compartment, she'll be able to engage the enemy heroes, the scatters, the Eagle Artillery. So unbelievable value with this idea. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. Queen moves her way through, drops some Coco Loons in the process so that they pull some traps. They don't actually end up pulling some traps, and I like to use just 3 balloons for the Queen charge and use 6 for the main attack, because 3 is all I really need when I do multiple charges. So the Queen will end up engaging the enemy king. I drop a headhunter just to speed through this a little bit. The cool thing about the headhunter, through that rage, she'll speed through. Sometimes she'll pull a tornado trap, pull a spring trap, or skeletons so that the queen doesn't get stalled up herself on them. Drop a minion just because it'll be able to take out these buildings uncontested. Excellent value for just 2 housing space. We lose a healer to a Seeking Air Mine, so now I know that any more pressure than what she's currently under will be too much. So I should have poisoned the Minion Prince right here because he actually forces the Queen's ability, and if that scatter would have shot again, I would have lost her right there, lost out on some value. But the Queen uses her ability, she gets through this entire top side, Eagle Artillery, scatters, all that stuff is down. Now I know she's going to be again pounding through this wall, and one of my favorite things to do with a Queen charge is to meet up the Queen with the main army. So Baby Dragon down just so I make sure that the super minions don't actually focus too heavily down here. I want them to focus all on this area, enemy queen, and town hall compartment. So keep the Grand Warden right behind the Stone Slammer. That way, when the balloons come out, you can activate the ability and protect them. Now, speed boost, rage, dark orb ability. Now we have massive, massive momentum. I send the Royal Champion up here to deal with this whole compartment up here. Going to be pretty easy. There's nothing stopping the Royal Champion from doing that. Check that out right there. Super minions use their long range ability to take out the town hall from afar, saving all these troops on the southern compartment from having to go up there. Now, we do lose a lot of super minions to the poison, but at this point, there's too much momentum to stop the attack. All of the major defenses are down. The queen is still alive. Royal champion is still alive. There's just too much, with the massive value that we got from the queen. This is why I think it's super important to be able to have the skill to use charges, queen charges, royal champion charges, anything that you want to do, so that your main army doesn't struggle so much. Like, there really isn't any excuse. Heroes are so powerful with gear. You really have no reason not to be doing these special types of charges. This attack is going to be kind of risky because the idea, well, first of all, this base design is meant to be anti-queen charge or anti-queen walk, because you have these compartments that are open, which means the queen is going to eventually want to just easily go through there. But if you're good enough at queen charges, you can find ways to mitigate the pathing that she might take, or just make sure your queen goes to where she actually needs to go. So instead of offsetting on the rights and lefts, actually just stay on the left, because that's just how the base is designed to be difficult to actually charge in. There's nothing right here for the queen to focus on, so she's going to go left or right anyway. So we funnel, drop some wall breakers down. They end up opening up the wall. That's a level 80 king, so we drop a headhunter. Helps speed through those high hit points. Drop a balloon down to pull some traps, because I know as a teaser that this might be toward the scatter, there are probably going to be a lot of Teslas, a lot of traps, a lot of skeleton traps. So I know the queen is going to go into this compartment. Now the idea is to open up this section right here with wall breakers if possible. This is going to be very tricky, but it's possible because really this is the only defense that's behind a wall technically, even though there are double layers. It's kind of a trick, kind of a teaser that you wouldn't think it would work, but it does. Now, even though the queen goes out of the range of the Inferno, I freeze it anyway, not thinking she'd actually go down. There are a lot of skeleton traps down here. But we drop down the rest of our wall breakers and we drop our rage because we want those wall breakers to open up that wall. One of them actually gets up into that rage and destroys the wall. The queen gets excited and she goes right for that area. Now, we probably didn't need to freeze this Inferno because she was under rage. She was going to take it down, but better to be safe than sorry. We lose a healer to a Seeking Air Mine, so we just keep the queen raged up, getting through this area. Now, no matter what air sweeper she got, I was going to focus on the side that had an air sweeper focusing on the other side. So I just drop a minion over there just because there's nothing contesting that minion. So the air sweeper that was pointing to the right is down. The only one is pointing to the left, so we can begin the main attack from the right. The queen is going to be fine. There's nothing stopping her. That air sweeper is actually pushing the healers out of the range of the Inferno Tower, which is good. So the Warden is kind of far away from the balloons. So as soon as they're inside that range, that aura, we rage. That Dark Orb ability could have been better, and we had to freeze that scatter shot. But there's already a lot of momentum. We have 5, 6 super minions on this side. They're going to use their range ability to actually engage all of this stuff in here. Now, poison and tornado, it's never a good combination, but at this point, there's way too much momentum. The Royal Champion took care of all the stuff that was up there, and everybody's just going to meet up. Now, it might look kind of sketchy, but it's really not, because once there's so much momentum down and the heroes do their job, nothing can really stop this attack. And the only thing you really need to worry about is making sure you're not starting the main attack too late. You want that queen to take care of her objective as soon as possible. For this next attack, the idea is to engage the compartment with the queen and the Minion Prince, and eventually have the queen reach this Eagle Artillery. That way we can begin the main attack quite quickly. So we start off with some baby dragons on the right and the left. Keep these 3 buildings. Send in some wall breakers to get the queen through. Coco-Loon down to pull some traps. Always a good idea to drop those down. Now, I drop an early rage just to push those balloons up fast, and it helps the queen move through these buildings a little bit quicker. So we do pull some traps. We even pull the clan castle. We get some excellent value with the poison spell here because we get the enemy heroes and the clan castle at once. I send a headhunter down. Looks like the headhunter was actually targeted by that archer tower, but she helped get the queen out the way. Now there's hardly any resistance up here for the queen. We just have 2 archer towers to worry about and maybe a mortar. So I'm pre-funneling and starting the funnel early for the main attack. So we just have these buildings. They'll help focus the main attack through this right side down the middle of the base. So the queen actually starts focusing on that Eagle Artillery. I freeze that early. Or not early. You wait 4 seconds, like I said, just to get maximum value out of that freeze. So I wanted the queen to go into this compartment to engage the Inferno Tower and maybe meet up with the main attack, but obviously the queen's going to do what the queen does and beat on walls. No big deal. Not a lot of resistance over there. She'll even engage this scatter over there, prevent the scatter from actually focusing on the main army. So, balloons down, Stone Slammer, Dragons, Warden. You want the Warden directly behind that Stone Slammer. That way, when the balloons come out, you can protect them with the Warden. So, lots of momentum right here so far. Super minions behind, supporting. Once those balloons are out, you pop that ability. I'm freezing that scatter. Freezing that air sweeper. Excellent dark orb ability. Everything's pushing up. Balloons are far ahead. Super minions are behind. Queen is going to engage that scatter shot compartment. I'm going to support the queen with the royal champion. At this point, there's just so much momentum. Scatter shots down. Queen is going to engage this last compartment here. Super minion takes out that last inferno. Invisibility spell for both the queen and the royal champion. Now, we may have lost a lot of troops, but again, we have all of our heroes alive. There's really nothing that can stop this attack at this point. The balloons and the super minions did their job to help support the heroes finish off the space. Now, the only thing that really takes down the super minions are the Town Hall and the poison from the Town Hall. Those are the things we need to really watch out for. This is why if you can get the Town Hall with the queen, do so. Absolutely. If you can get everything, including a clan castle, maybe a scatter or two, that's even better. But you really want to try and get that Town Hall down so that you're not losing a lot of your troops to the Town Hall weapon and the bomb. I want to show a base like this, and you're probably asking, hey, how do you even queen charge a base like this? It seems so unsafe. I mean, there's nothing that can really pull the queen up into these compartments because, you know, if there isn't a lot, there's no reason for the queen to go into. She won't pass. And these infernos are protected by a 6-tile space. The queen can't target them. Well, here's the thing. That's a single target inferno. And that's just an expo. There's nothing it's nothing really to worry about. We want the queen to go to the left because you might be confused. The idea is to get the queen to go through both of these compartments so that she can engage the scatter, the leaf blowers, the eagle artillery, the inferno, maybe the clan castle, the enemy queen, the town hall. That might seem like a big risk, but that is how you approach a base like this. There's nothing that can actually stop the momentum of a queen charge, despite how scary it might look. So, I open up that wall just in case the queen can't reach it, but it's actually in range, so no big deal. I don't want her to go into the base, and it wouldn't have been a big deal if she did, because she would have been able to reach that eagle artillery, that queen, that inferno tower, no big deal. But it might seem scary going up against a single inferno tower that the queen can't reach, but we have 4 freezes and 1 invisibility spell. I open it up anyway just in case she actually wants to go over there. It wouldn't be a big deal anyway. The idea is to get a scatter in inferno tower and some air defenses. That's all we really need to do. Now, I know she's not going to go in there, so we have to freeze this inferno tower, wait 4 seconds, then use that freeze. Now, she's going to get tremendous value. She already got an expo. She's going to get the eagle artillery. She's going to get an air sweeper. She's going to get a scatter. Now, I make the mistake here of not completely focusing on both inferno towers, so we burn the ability, but it's no big deal. Nothing is going to stop her. Nothing is really targeting her. Takes out scatter and inferno. Didn't need to freeze that. She's going to take out the queen, so I just poison the queen because we can. Now, we keep her raged up. Now, look at all this value. There is nothing that can stop any attack at this point. This just goes to show how powerful a queen charge is. So the idea is now to focus on this side. The royal champion will take care of this side. No big deal. So that's what we're going to do. Stone Slammer, balloons, Warden. Now, the Warden and Stone Slammer are a little far apart, but it looks like everything's just kind of meet up right here. Royal champion on the left is taking care of her thing. Rage, freeze. Everything's spread out. We got super minions over here, some over there, dragons over here. The royal champion's actually going to take out the Minion Prince, no big deal. Invisibility. The only thing that can stop this attack is 1 archer tower, one expo. And queen goes down, but there's a royal champion right there. Clean up troops around the base. All of the super minions are pretty much alive. Like, if an attack goes so well, you can protect all of your troops, and this is really the kind of result that you want. This is an absolute domination of this base. This base is gone. Again, like, the queen charge is so important. If you can make the queen charge work just fine, then everything is going to be all right. This is a revenge attack, and oh my, do I like revenge attacks, because it always feels good completely destroying somebody's base while they only get like 1 star on yours. So that's exactly what happened here. And this is a max Town Hall 14, so this base might look scary, and that's because it is. The idea is to get my queen into the Town Hall compartment. A base like this is very hard to queen charge because of all the distances and the coverage. It's just not easy to queen charge. So the idea is to get the queen into this Town Hall compartment with wall breakers. If she goes up here, that would be plan B. We would just open up that compartment and engage the queen. If there are clan castles, we'd be able to engage them also no matter what. So I bring my wall breakers down, and I wasn't paying attention here. I unfortunately let my queen get roasted, and we burn the ability early. It's not going to be a big deal. Defenses are so spread out that she's not going to be under a lot of stress. We're only really dropping rages so that we speed up the attack. Drop our wall breakers down under rage so that they are guaranteed to open that wall. So now the queen is inside the Town Hall compartment. She's going to take out the Town Hall, the Inferno Tower, the Expo, and I want her to get down these high hit point buildings right here because I don't want the main force to actually go down the middle. At this point, I was checking to see if there were any clan castles. There weren't, so I knew I was safe to use my poison for either the royal champion or the queen. So we're using more rages, speed up the queen. And at this point, I'm thinking we need to make sure that the main force goes toward the scattershot compartment and then up toward the eagle artillery compartment. So as the queen was taking out these buildings, that's what was going through my mind. So we need to funnel. So the idea is to start the main force down here. Balloons, Stone Slammer, Warden, Minion Prince. Now we need baby dragons to funnel so that all the force continues to go down this left side into this scattershot compartment. So the queen is going to go down. We're not supporting her with any more spells anymore. So baby dragon's doing a good job trickling in our super minions from behind. Unfortunately, they lose some of their long range abilities on some of these skeletons. No big deal. They're far enough behind. The Stone Slammer goes down. Balloons come out. Dark Orb ability. Protecting the loons with the Eternal Tome. Rage through. Freeze when necessary. Now, Royal Champion on the right to support. We're not sending the Royal Champion in on the left because of that queen. We're just going to support the main army. So we unfortunately lose around half of our super minions to this queen and scattershot compartment. But we have one super minion right here that's going to stall this scattershot for just enough time for the other troops to come by and help out. So taking out the enemy queen. Still have 2 balloons left, a full Royal Champion. Everything is just converging on this last compartment. So even with a maxed scary Town Hall 14 base like this, an army like this, as rudimentary as it seems, will work just fine as long as the main queen charge works out. And even with the mistake of losing the ability so quickly, a base like this, its one weakest was the spread out defenses. And even though it's a max base, if you have a plan, you can make an attack like this work. So the Dark Wave ability, as ominous as this name seems, it's actually not as ironic as it seems, because the momentum rises and lowers as the attack goes, because of just how how the balloons look, how the dragons look, how the super minions look as they go through the base. It just looks like a wave, like a watery dark wave of troops. So yeah, that is my Dark Wave Queen Charge strategy. Now, it might seem rudimentary, you might be asking, why not just use regular dragons? I mean, you can, but then it would just be Queen Charge dragons. Now, the appeal of this army was to basically use the Minion Prince, because at the time I designed this strategy, the Minion Prince was new. So I decided I need to design an army for air when my king is upgrading or something, because normally I only upgrade 1 hero at a time. And I thought maybe it would be a good idea to design a strategy that showcases the power of the Minion Prince. So I was like, what better troop to use than super minions? And surprisingly enough, this strategy is very powerful if the queen charge goes well, and that goes for any high risk strategy. And it's actually even better than mass dragons in my opinion, just because you have better range. It's more versatile. Like, if you wanted to, you could turn this kind of strategy into an RC charge. You just need to make sure you have 1 rage and 1 invisibility spell for the main army. And this variation uses only 3 healers. Like, when I initially designed this strategy, I wanted more troops for funneling the main army, but that's actually not necessary. And the risk of using 3 healers is the queen cannot push through areas that are too heavily defended. So the idea here would then be to give the queen an extra healer. Just take away a baby dragon and some minions. That way the queen has more healing. That's the only change that you really need to make. If you want a little bit more of a variation with other troops, maybe you can take away a super minion or two. If you want an extra dragon in there, no big deal. Extra balloons, make room for super wall breakers if you want to do that instead. There's really so much more flexibility that you can use, but I wanted to showcase the super minions, so I have more super minions. I experimented with 9, that was just too many. You don't need that many. 8 seems to be the max number that you can get away with while still being versatile. Now, Royal Champion charges. You can Royal Champion charge with invisibility spells. The only difference is you need to really make sure that the Royal Champion gets what she needs to get. Now, this is something I was experimenting with, and it seems to work okay, but the biggest problem is you don't have that many invisibility spells. You have to get the Royal Champion in where you want her to get into, otherwise it makes it very difficult for the main army to actually get through the base. You need to make sure you're getting those scatters, those Inferno Towers, the Town Hall is very difficult to get to with a Royal Champion charge unless you're really dedicating the entire charge with multiple invisibility spells. And in my opinion, it's never really a good idea to invest so much with such a slow army. And super minions are rather squishy, so you can experiment with this and give it a shot, but one of the main cons of this army is it needs clan castle troops. The momentum from the clan castle balloons and dragon is just so detrimental to this army, and unfortunately I think that's the biggest weakness. You can't use this army without clan castles. As powerful as it is, it needs clan castle troops to support those balloons that push ahead with rage and the ability. It's just so detrimental to the attack. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. This is a very difficult I would say it's a very difficult strategy to use, but if you like the appeal of using hardly used troops, or just if you like the super minion in general and you want to give it a shot for your normal attacks, just go ahead and give it a shot. Basically, it's kind of it's not a niche strategy at all. You can pretty much use it on any base as long as you're good at queen charging. So thanks for watching. If you want to see something more like this, just let me know. Even better, this strategy works a lot better at Town Hall 13 because Town Hall 13, obviously it's just a lower version of Town Hall 14. You can use the Rage Vial and you would be surprised how much momentum and how much damage the super minion does. I have videos of Town Hall 13 gameplay utilizing this strategy, and I'll probably post that pretty soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.